Greetings and salutations. This is Rick Koppel coming at you from Denver, Colorado for another episode of Not a Linux Guru Guy channel. Today we're going to take a look at Garuda again. Yes, but we're not reviewing the same one we reviewed last time, which was Qtile version. We're actually reviewing a couple of other versions. One that I installed on my new computer. Yay! So anyway, we installed a new computer, which I'm turning my writing computer, so it'll be kind of a daily driver, not really a permanent daily driver. Not really my daily driver, which is my other computer over here that this is running on, but it's my daily driver for my writing computer. So cool, I'm actually glad I got a big screen on it so I can make it big. I can see what I'm doing easier. And so cool. So I'll go over that here on the other side of the intro. So we have a computer over here that I just got. I could try and show it to you, but I don't want to mess with the setting on my webcam over here too much. So yeah, it looks like most other computers in a box, that kind of thing. You got a big screen over there, 24 inches, I think. Something like that. I can measure it, but I'm not going to worry about it now. And it's bigger than my other screen I got over here that I've been using, so it's improving a step up for me. And like I said, I'm going to use it for my writing computer, my daily driver. And that's cool. That means I can get on there. I cannot install emails and other notifications will pop up all over the place trying to me do this or that kind of thing. I can just go in here and work as I work it. Maybe web browser for research, that kind of thing. So yeah. So, but I'm not really sure exactly what system I'm going to start with. I might actually install some games on here so I can play some games. We'll see. I can do it on this one. Anyway, this is Arch-based Linux Garuda, in case you missed the last video on this. And it's a pretty system. It's a nice system, and it's pretty decent. Now, I wouldn't recommend this for new users for several reasons, as I'll mention here and show you in a minute. But yeah, we'll talk more about that on the other side and go with it there. Anyway, we have two distros we're going to review on Garuda. I think is how you pronounce it, or something like that. Anyway, last time we had a Qtile version, which is a window manager, which looked a little odd and strange. So it looked like something nobody would want. You know, it looked like, ugh. I can just see all the new users out there, new Linux users, are thinking about you going to Linux, going, I don't want that, no, go away. So I thought I'd show some more standardized Garuda Linux views and get your input on those. So anyway, I got what we're going to review today is we're going to review the LXQT-KWin version, which I had a little bit of surprise for my part. Then we're going to review the Dragonized version, the KD Plasma desktop on it. So we're going to review those two, and we'll go ahead and do that now. Here is the LXQT-KWin version of Garuda Linux. Take it away, myself. Now we're looking at my LXQT desktop, and this is what it looks like pretty much. And the cool thing about this I really like is that it merges a desktop environment, which is KDQT, LXQT, excuse me, LXQT, merges that desktop with the KWin tiling manager. Now you don't normally think of KWin as a tiling manager because it's part of KDE Plasma, but here they turned it into a tiling manager, which you can do with a script. And it comes out of the box this way. You just install it and it works that way. So I'll show you what I mean. So if I start a terminal up here, it goes full screen immediately. So another terminal goes to. Start another one. It does a monad tall thing there. Keeps adding terminals to that one. So you can see it installs that all. It is tiling manager. Now I'm going to show you something that's even more interesting. That is that because it's KDE, it has some fancy graphics and stuff to it and animations. You can have it break apart like this. And yeah, it's pretty cool. So if you want to get your PWO's tiling managers, you want to kind of get an idea how they work a little bit and maybe learn some of the key bindings for them. I think these are set in the script that it turns this KDE into, excuse me, it turns KWin into a tiling manager. I think it turns into a tiling manager by, yeah, that's what I have to do. Now it turns into a tiling manager. If you want to get your feet well with that, then you can download this KDE KWin version L. Oh, I keep saying KDE. It's LXQT KWin window manager on it. Kind of a combination thing. It's pretty cool. If you like that, then go for it. You can download that, and it has a nice backgrounds in there that you can get. Of course, you saw there. That's nice, and I can install several of them on there. Like, let's see, desktop preferences. Yes, that's where we want to go. Desktop preferences, and then we want to go backgrounds up here. Yeah, somewhere. Select background, color background, wallpaper. Hold on here a minute. I'm figuring this out. I don't know what I did. Oh, here. Browse. And then you go down here. And these are all the ones I have. Could have done this one. You know, it's a bird theme here. Garuda, yeah. It's a pretty nice one. If you like lightest background and darkest backgrounds, the same green. Because to me, I need my eyes to adjust a little different to it. So, and you have a big bird, you can have birds like this. And I think that's what I used. So, I got a few backgrounds there to choose from, not a whole ton. I'm sure you could add more of your own backgrounds in there if you wanted to. But yeah, you got the bird theme in all of these, the Garuda ones. As I mentioned last time in the last video, that Garuda was a Indian bird, half man bird thing that bared Renusha. Vishnu, excuse me, Vishnu. And pretty cool in it. Now the certain things I'm getting ready to take this off, put on the KD Dragon Eyes version, is because I had some problems with this one, and this is what I had. One, I've been unable to find out how to stop the blanking screen from going off. Now I'm not cussing there. That's the screen goes blank, and and it just you're sitting there going, what? So you're looking, trying to figure out what, and yeah, if you don't want your screen to go blank, which I tend to put all my computers on that if they're plugged into some, which this one is a desktop computer, so it's not going to be unplugged ever. Then I got to figure out how to use the screen. I've investigated. I've done. I've checked off all the things that said to not blank the screen out. I've gone through all that. LXQT. I know how to do it on Sim and I know how to do it on KD, but I don't know how to do it on the LXQT apparently. Can't find anything on the internet either about it either. So there you go. Yeah, so I had that problem, and the other problem I had was that I don't know. This is kind of a minor thing, but the screen sometimes when I bring it back out of sleep, the screen will blink for a while until I start another program or I stop another program. And then I also have a situation where when I like to double click on files in the file manager. File manager they have here for some reason is set to single click on stuff. And I've unchecked all the things I can find in both the settings in the computer itself and the settings in the file manager, and I can't get it to stop single clicking on icons, files, and stuff like that. So well, I guess I'll have to install a different one on there. And the thing is now I know I can figure out how to. I've checked in. I can figure out how to make the KD script, the KWin file manager, do tiling like this says. I'm going to do that, and so I'm going to put in the KD Dragonized version of this, and then I'm going to switch it over to a tiling manager. Now the KD version, supposedly I should be able to fix this and keep it from blanking out. I also know it's double clicks there, so no problem with that. And it's a pretty nice distro itself, you know. Yeah, it's Dragonized, and I can have it tile. Oh, it's kind of cool stuff. So, yeah, this is installed Steam on here, which works pretty well, I guess, out of the box. I haven't played any games on it per se yet, so I don't know how that goes, but I'll check it out when the new version gets put on. So this is Garuda LXQT-KWin version, and I like it otherwise. It's pretty nice. It works pretty well, and been able to take care of most things on it. So yeah, cool. So that was the version LXQT-KWin version of Garuda. I keep saying that different ways, don't I? I don't know how to pronounce it, so I'm shooting off. I figure I'll hit it somewhere in there if I keep pronouncing it different ways. Anyway, that was that version. Cool version, but I felt like I wanted to go with a different version for my daily writing driver. Partly because of the issues I noted in there, and partly because I just felt like I need something a little more powerful than Qt, more configurable than Qt, LXQT. It had some features that I couldn't adjust or stuff like that. I couldn't edit the menu that well. I could probably do it if I knew what files to go in and adjust and things like that, but I couldn't just do it graphically. No new user is going to want to go in and edit file configuration files on that kind of stuff either. So there you go. But anyway, I wanted something more configurable than LXQT, so I installed Dragonized version of KD Plasma on this computer. So let's take it away and see what that's like. And here we are on our Dragonized Garuda KD Plasma desktop. Pretty, in it? Yeah, I like this one. Yeah, and it's got candy icons. I want candy. All that good stuff. So yeah, it's beautiful. It's cool. And I have actually been tweaked this a bit. I've set it up so it doesn't come out of the box with the tiling window manager on it, but I put it on here. Kwin. You can put a real tiling window manager on it if you want. I don't know if it'd look exactly like this when you boot it up into it. Maybe you would, maybe you wouldn't, who knows. It's got a latte dock on it, and it's got all sorts of good stuff. Now I've installed a few things on here since my standard stuff. It didn't come with a lot of installed programs other than the basic stuff on it. So you probably will want to install your own programs on it, but I've installed a few. Don't bother going through all those since most of those won't. Also, switch this to my favorite kind of cascading pop-up menu, which you can do. And yeah, a lot of those, all those are like in there already. Development, education, I think that's already in there. I don't think you had anything in that. Graphics, we got I've added Inkscape, Krita, LibreOffice Draw. All the rest were in there. Oh, I also added the G-Scan to PDF. I actually got my scanner working on this thing. It wasn't as hard as I thought it was going to be to set up, but I had to do it all manually. I had to do it through the terminal, and so it's not exactly a newbie user type thing to do, but and internet. Now I've added several. I'm gonna add Waterfox on here too, I think, but I got Firefox, I got Brave added on here. All the rest, I believe, except for Thunderbird. Thunderbird added on here. All the rest weren't on there originally. Multimedia, I've added Cantata, Celluloid, and I think the MPV media player was on here before, but I don't remember for sure. OBS Studio, I've added, and I think the rest were on there. Simple Screen Recorder I added too. What I'm using right now to record the screen, and I'm recording my audio on OBS on the other computer. I'm going to merge them together, see if it works. Office, I installed all LibreOffice. It wasn't on there. So I say it's bare bones. You have to install all your own Office software. One thing I had on there was Ocular. And settings. Now when you get settings stuff, of course most of this stuff they install, not me. So, and system. And your utilities. Got Kate as its text editor. And other things. Latte. Nextcloud Desktop, Sync Client, all sorts of stuff I investigate later as I go through this thing. So yeah, that's things on there. Now the only thing about this is the one downside of this, aside from the key bindings that you want to put on here for the menu items, which so far they've worked, but I haven't actually added my scripts, and I don't need to that much because this isn't a laptop, it's a desktop. So I don't have to worry about toggling the touchpad on and off, and things like that. So I can probably get away without using those scripts here, but it's the only one downside I noticed was when you go to configure your desktop and wallpaper, all the wallpaper you got. It actually is not too bad. Eagle clouds. Yeah, you got eagles, a lot of eagle stuff here. Like, yeah, you can add that. Dragon, I like dragon. Put dragon on there. Fly. Yeah. Let's see if that looks good. Yeah, it looks pretty sharp, pretty nice overall. Not too hard on the eyes. And I like dragons because that's one of my fantasy book includes dragons in it. So I like dragons. I like dragon eyes. My writing computer actually. So it kind of syncs with that, doesn't it? And yeah, the latte dock down here now. Yeah. File manager, Firefox, all the electricity. That's a fish top fish. I don't like the fish one as much as I like the console. So consoles will come up when I use the key binding, Control Alt T. But this is that because I can't really. I can adjust size of the text on it, but I can't really change the background. It was background color on this one looks pretty good though overall. Because it's transparent, it bleeds through, it blurs the background image on it. And then if I had another one, see this comparison here. Now I have this one set up. Yeah, where it does something freaky there for some reason. I don't normally do that, adds white lines in there, but did this time. Oh, I see. It's because it's too narrow of a screen, and I got it set for bigger font there. And so it kind of had an interesting fit when it tried to do it. Yeah, if you go to the other one, next out of that, and then next out of that, and we'll go back into it, and you'll see what it looks like normally. There you go. I haven't put this big of letters, partly for the reasons I do this, plus my eyes it helps my eyes to read it better. A little teeny print. But yeah, normally I like to put the background color what I got here, but it seems like it's about the same as the other one, doesn't it? Let's compare that over. You notice the dot goes away whenever I bring up full screen, but if I go down here, it magically appears. Da-da! Yeah, they're almost exactly the same. In fact, they pretty much are. Interesting. I guess because it's picking up more color from the background than it is. It's a little bit lighter on the one I've got. So yeah, I might be able to use that. But anyway, I don't like the fish because it. Anyway, so this is Garuda 80 Plasma Dragonized version. And you can get the gamer edition, the same thing. Just go to the right side of that link. It's got on the left side, it's got this version. On the right side, it's got this version with gamer stuff added in. I can add it in piecemeal if you want. Or you have it all out of the box where it's got Steam, Lutris, and all that stuff installed on it. That works if you're really into gaming. And it's a nice system. Now, like I say, some of the setups for some of the things require you to go in a terminal to do a lot of stuff. Like I had to set up the printer stuff automatically. I don't know why Arch-based systems don't have printers set up automatically. I had kind of same thing. I think it was on Arco Linux or Endeavor, one of the two. I think it's Endeavor, where I had to set up the printer by installing. I mean, this one same way. You had to go in. You had to install cups first, and you had to install printer driver, and you had to go in and you had to. So you even had to install the program that allows you to graphically access the printer. Then you go in there and you have to set up printer. Crazy. But anyway, I got her done. Prints now, it scans and all that kind of stuff. Most things like Linux Mint, you go in there, it basically sets up all printing stuff for you, so you don't even have to set the printer stuff half the time because it goes out and it finds the printer and so it finds the printer and says, hey, there's a printer here, so it sucks it in. But yeah, that's what happens. So now we'll go back to chat a bit more. This is Garuda Dragonized version, which I'm using for a while. It's my daily driver on my writing computer. Looks pretty. I like it. We'll see how it goes. Okay, we're back from that. Now we're going to chat a bit about it because I really like the KD plasma version. It's pretty and it's a beautiful system. Now, would I recommend this for a new user, new Linux person coming from Windows? No, probably not, because one, it's a little bit different. It's not as natively intuitive as when from a person coming from Windows wouldn't feel as intuitive as they would for Linux Mint, mainly because you got your menu up on top and you have this strange looking dock down there, which isn't on any Windows system unless you have one manually. Figure it that way. And you have to use a terminal for certain things. I mean, it's almost required to. It doesn't set up your printer, and it doesn't install printer stuff. And so you're going, where's the printer? I can't find printer settings in here. It's because you got to install it before you can do it. So yeah, it doesn't install any of that. Some of the other versions might, like maybe if you go to the multimedia version of KDE, that might, because it talks about being a daily driver type situation. So you can experiment with that if you'd like. But I mean, if it doesn't work, you just install something else over it. That's a cool thing about Linux. You can download as many versions as you want, install whatever you want on it, pretty much, and see how it works for you. Doesn't work, doesn't work. If you want to get your feet wet, I would still recommend Linux Mint or Pop! OS or some along those lines. Elementary, I heard is good, although I haven't tried that one yet. I'm going to do a future review on that later. But anyway, yeah. So I wouldn't recommend this for a new user for those reasons, because it'd be hard to set up if you aren't familiar with the terminal and doing commands and searching for packages in the repositories. If you don't even know what a repository is, you're in trouble. But yeah, you'll learn all that once you get Linux Mint installed on there, because you can install software on there through the software manager. And you can do all those kind of things on there, and it looks more Windows-esque in its thing. So much so that when one reviewer was reviewing another distro, I can't remember for sure which one it was, then there's a cinnamon version, so I had the cinnamon menu on it, and said something along the lines that this was configured to look like Windows. No, it was a standard cinnamon desktop version menu that they had on there, but they said it looked like Windows. It doesn't look exactly like Windows. Any Linux system you're gonna put on is not going to be exactly like Windows, even if it like the FX or whatever. That was the version they were reviewing. Even if they look at that distro and they put all these fancy Windows stuff on it, it's just theming for the most part. Some theming pretty good on that kind of thing, but just theming. Underneath the hood, you still have to know how to use Linux. So yeah, you can use Linux Mint if you're familiar with Windows, but not Linux. You can start with that, then branch out once you get your feet wet in that. And you start learning a little bit about terminal and the app get commands and things like that to install free software to your heart's content on your computer. It's like the other day I was just looking at my computer and I was thinking, oh, I need this program before I can do this. So I just opened up a terminal, typed in the line, boop. Next thing you know, I had it on my computer just like that. I didn't have to go out and first I didn't have to go to the website, download this, run that program to install the software on the system. I just bloop, one line of text on the terminal, and I had the program that I needed. And there's all sorts of free software in there that can do pretty much most everything you want. Occasionally find things like QuickBooks and stuff like that that don't have a easy one-to-one replacement. Now there are some GNU cache that I think I'm going to go over in a future thing for writers, so stay tuned for that. But how I have it set up and how I used it for my writing stuff. But the inventory, nah, can't do inventory on it like you can on QuickBooks. You have to do spreadsheets. The only way I found to do that. I had to set my own inventory spreadsheet. So there you go. Yeah. So there's differences. Repository updates are much better and easier to use. It's like a big app store that updates itself all the time. Sort of like Google Play Store. Except it's not Play Store, it's repositories and those kind of things. And if you go to Arch-based system, it's a little bit different even more so in that regard, because you got the AUR and it has all sorts of stuff in there, and some of you can get in trouble downloading if you're not careful. So yeah. So anyway, that is Garuda Linux, which I'm using for my daily driver for the time being on my writing computer. I have to now differentiate my writing computer from my normal daily driver that I do all my other stuff on. So yeah. Let me know what you think down in the comments about it, if you like it or not, if you tried it, if you have any input on what I've said or anything like that, feel free to comment on it. I'm not going to bite your head off. And don't forget to like and subscribe and hit the notification bell if you want to know when more videos will come out. I don't have a set schedule for this, so it just happens when it happens. Pretty much. I've been mostly doing about once a week lately, so but it's never exactly on the same day that it comes out either. So if you want to know when it comes out, be sure to hit that notification bell, and otherwise you'll just subscribe and you'll find out when you find out, I guess. So anyway, may the Linux force be with you. Bye.